melt fat away without any pain?
Oh, yes. Yes, please. Heather Lee at Solana Beach to show off this new technique. Heather, tell me. I am listening and I'm taking notes.
I tell you what, a lot of us are ready for sweater weather, right? We're hoping if bikini season could just be over. It's never over in San Diego, so this is going to help you get away some of those unwanted love handles, maybe that pooch, you know, that a lot of us girls have that you just can't get away from. So it looks like nothing is happening. Dr. Melanie Palm here at Art of Skin, you've got this new thing called Vanquish, though, and it's literally hovering over her stomach. Now, our friend here has actually a pretty flat belly, but she's gone through this a couple of times. So what is this thing? What is it doing?
So it's radio frequency, and I tell patients it's a field of basically specially tuned electricity that targets just the fat, heats it up to a certain temperature that some of the fat cells are unhappy, and our body eliminates it. So it's one of these things that sounds like it's too good to be true, but it actually works.
So it's just hot, because we've heard of like the cool sculpting. Everyone's doing the freeze, suck it out, and it freezes it and gets it away in like a few months or whatever. But this is actually using heat. Is there a big difference between the two?
So there's two ways to destroy cells in our body. You can freeze them or you can heat them up. And so the reason I like heat is in this instance, you can see it just hovers over the patient. It's not actually in contact. When we do cool sculpting, the skin is brought up. It feels like a stick of butter. It's frozen after that 45 minutes to hour of treatment.
Kind of awkward.
Yeah, and it can be a little uncomfortable, especially we know in the abdominal area people can have some tenderness. I love this because patients sit here and it feels like a warm blanket. It doesn't hurt.
I like that.
I know, and you know, when we introduce heat into the skin, it also helps with tightening. It induces new collagen growth, so I love it for that. For moms maybe that have a little bit of laxity and they've got a little bit of looseness of the skin and extra fat, I think it's something to consider, and that's why I choose heat often over, you know, freezing.
Now, I know it's not always just one treatment, though, that does the job. She's going to sit here. We've got the little... You've got 22 minutes left, so we started. She has 30 minutes that you sit under your warm blanket. You should have some TV screens up here, you know, so she can just watch the shows, get caught up in Housewives.
We often do that, so we make patients comfortable or they can listen to something, but it's really easy. The protocol is you come in once a week. It's 4 treatments. The average patient in the U.S. study, which I was a part of that clinical study, they lost about 2 inches off of their waistline.
2 inches?
2 inches.
Wow, that's like, I don't know, close to 6 months to a year of diet and exercise and really keeping to it depending on your body type and how hard you work towards it. So how many times would you want to do this machine?
Sure. So once a week, about 4 times. You can do more. I tell patients, you know, once you've whittled down the waist a little bit, there's not as much of a fat target. So if you do a second series, you may not lose as much. But we've got before and afters, I think.
We do. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Okay, let's bring up our before and after so that you can see those pictures of what the stomach actually transforms to. And one girl now, there's 2 girls there. One girl that has kind of a bigger tattoo on her side. If we see her photo coming up, she's actually like a fitness competitor now.
Yeah, I mean, it really kick-started her fitness regime. So I think that's what we see when we give confidence to patients and they start to see changes in their body. It changes their lifestyle long-term. So she's actually competing as a fitness model now.
Wow, well, good for her. I know in San Diego, all of us just want to be fit in bikinis all year long. You know, how are you feeling? Does it hurt or like what?
Not at all. It's just very comfortable and warm, just as Dr. Palm said.
The warm blanket. I love that. Having a warm, it's like a Snuggie that gets you skinny.
Oh, man.
A Snuggie that gets you skinny. I want one of those Snuggies. Okay, I have a few questions.
Take one. I'm taking it home.
Guess what Shali's going to ask, Heather?
What am I going to ask?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
I know.
Thank
The price
you.
is right. Okay, so for one treatment, or do you get a series? What's the cost?
So we just sell it by the package because it's not meant as a single series, but it's in the, you know, depending on your geographic area, it's usually in the $2,000 to $3,000 mark for doing series of the 4 treatments.
Okay, I have another question.
Competitive and actually a little bit cheaper than doing something like liposuction.
Yes.
Oh, very true. Very true.
Shali has another question.
Okay, for those that have done or know anybody that have done the liposuction, a lot of times they say that when you take the fat out, it grows back in other places.
It can come back.
Yeah. So
and I think that's the same thing. I mean, these cells, you get rid of them, but if you go home and eat like a bag of Doritos and a Big Mac every day, it's still, it can still come back.
Right.
Sure. So, you know, it eliminates fat, but if you have fat cells, they can enlarge. So reasonable diet and exercise. I definitely don't want patients eating a carton of Haagen-Dazs and then deciding that this is their weight loss program. But I think if people are at a point where they've got stubborn areas of fat, then this is something to consider.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So there you go. You can't eat your ice cream and be under your Snuggie.
So no Haagen-Dazs?
Not going to work for you.
No Haagen-Dazs.
I don't know.
All right.